What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back with another video. After a little bit of a hiatus, look, we've been making content, we've been posting the shorts, but it's been a while since we've done some good content like this. But, the off season, everybody needs a little break. I guess that's what me and the fellas we're doing here. So we are now back. Looks like Will there on the top of your screen is excited. But we're back with another draft. We've got tonight, I should say, the greatest finishes in NASCAR Cup Series history. If you've watched the draft segments, it's pretty straightforward. But if you haven't, I'm going to explain it. We've got four of us, okay? We're each going to draft a team of four. So in this case, we're going to draft four of the greatest finishes in NASCAR Cup Series history. This will be a snake draft. So if you draft first overall, you would then draft last in the next round, and then it snakes back and forth just like that. Pretty easy, but I'm sure you're wondering, how is the order determined? Well, you'll see some names there. Doesn't mean anything right now. It's the hat of destiny. It's back. It's better than ever. It's signed by Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and the third mystery driver. Does anybody want to take a guess?
Has anyone guessed yet?
No.
Eric Armadillo.
No. The great thing about the hat of destiny is the third signature always has to do with the episode. So tonight it's signed by Ricky Craven. There you go.
Oh my God.
Oh, could that be a little prelude? Maybe.
I wonder what the number one pick is going to be.
All right, here we go. Hat of destiny. Eyes are closed. See them? There they are. Picking first. Tyler, Vanilla Wafer.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go.
Well, I guess your name could stick there, so that's good. All right,
Yeah,
here we go. Pick number 2. Damn it. Will.
Let's go.
Oh, shit. All right, I'm on it.
All right.
Oh,
God.
There we go. Oh, no. Armani is third.
Woo!
All right, I'll take the snake, I
good.
guess. All right, hold on one sec. So we got Vanilla Wafers.
Wait, who's fourth?
Will, and then
Who's fourth?
Who's the
Who's
fourth one?
fourth, man?
And then we've got
Wow, you're just ignoring us.
yeah.
What a terrible host. We should boycott the show.
That's who's fourth.
Who is John?
The greatest content creator behind Vanilla Wafers NASCAR.
Holy hell! Why did you give me that honors? I appreciate it, but come on, man.
Kidding.
Look at Johnny Pan. What a panderer.
All right. One more thing. You get 30 seconds. So I got a timer on my phone. You get 30 seconds to lock in your pick. If you're Armani, you literally take till 29.9999 seconds, and then you start giving the pick.
Hey, you say 30 seconds.
long
I'm going to
as
use
the
all the
pick-
time I got.
Look, as long as you're starting the pick within 30 seconds, we're fine with that. The order I'll kind of go through as we get into it. But so it'll be Tyler, then Will, then Armani, then myself. Look, to make this simple, please don't do the finish I'm going for is the 2006 Butterscotch 352 mile rate. Give us what happened. Like, give us the drivers. We've got NASCAR fans. We know what the finish is, hopefully, unless you're Tyler and you're probably going to give us something from the 40s. All right. Let's see. Let's get the timer up, or the stopwatch up. 30 seconds on the clock for Vanilla Wafers.
So there's a lot of Texas Motor Speedway races that I like on this list, but I'm going to be going with the safest one right now. Yeah, there you go. You already put it in. Ricky Craven versus Kurt Busch in the 2003 Darlington race. I mean, it's such an incredible race. The finish was spectacular. How can you not put this in the first round? Hands down, one of the most exciting finishes, even going back now, even though this happened 20 years ago. And you watch this finish, it's just so unbelievable that it came that close. Literally, just the front of the car for the Pontiac is what gave Ricky Craven the win. That's how close it was. If you had to watch this one finish in your entire life, it's got to be that one.
Will, was that we were chatting
That was
before? That was
that
it?
was the unanimous number one, man. That
All
was
right,
the
all right. Fair enough.
unanimous number.
Fair enough. Okay. Armani, your thoughts on the number one pick? Are you
Yep,
okay with
I
it?
had it at
Happy
the
with
top
it?
of my list.
Okay. All right. Pick number 2. Will, you're now on the clock.
All right, so this before we got on, I said there's a unanimous number one. There's only another one that I think could maybe rival it, and that's what I'm taking number 2, and that's going to be the 1979 Daytona 500. I mean, it literally defined the sport's history. And there's a fight. First of all, rest in peace, Ken Squire. Lost Ken Squire within the last month. But that big wreck between Donnie Allison and Cale Yarborough, they started whipping up on each other. Richard Petty goes on to win the race. People didn't even care about Richard Petty winning the race. It was more about the fight going on in turn 3. It's one of the most iconic, finishes in NASCAR history. You still hear that clip all the time today. When it comes to Daytona 500 time, which hopefully we will be at this year, you hear that clip. So we're going to go with the 79 Daytona 500.
I've drained $1,200. We better be going to that event. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
Do not back out
understandable.
on that, guys.
Understandable.
All right, Armani, you're on the clock.
All right, so I thought there was 3 races that could contend for the number 1 spot. The first 2 can honestly be swapped. Third one, which I am going to go for number 3, is kind of on the lower end, but I still think deserves its love. I'm going with the 2011 Talladega Spring Race, the race where you had like 6 drivers that could have a shot for the win. You had Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Mark Martin, Clint Boyer, I think was there, Kevin Harvick. I think even Jamie Mack was in there that finished well. So many drivers. It was at the peak of tandem racing for NASCAR. So it's, I think, tied with the closest finish in NASCAR history as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that was also the race where it was the most lead changes in NASCAR history. And that finish just encapsulated that whole moment. So I'm going with the 2011 Talladega Spring Race.
You see what I'm doing here? That's a reach.
No, I like that pick. I really do. I mean, when you have a 4-wide finish, almost, I think it deserves a spot in round 1 as a 3rd or 4th pick. I think that's fine.
See what I'm doing right here? Dribbling. Now what am I doing? I'm laying it up because Armani gave me a layup, an absolute layup. What am I going with? I am going with the 2001 Atlanta race.
Oh, great pick.
Yes.
Pick.
Kevin Harvick beat my favorite driver, Will's favorite driver, I believe Tyler's favorite driver of all time, right at the line. We talked before of like how meaningful the finish is. Does it have to be like the closest? No, but this one was the closest. It meant a ton because you had this young rookie, this stud Kevin Harvick, who is trying to fill the shoes of Dale Earnhardt Sr., who we just lost. And I think it's a finish that, lives in the lore, the history of NASCAR forever. 2001 ATL. Let's write Harvick.
Okay.
There it is.
Great pick.
I love it.
So, all right, hold on. Let me just get these going quick. Then we got.
Oh, yeah, he didn't even get it done. What a bum.
Hey, look.
No, not.
Well, he did get me right. At least he got me figured out. That's the important thing. Me number 1. Because who won the most recent draft?
You did. Yeah, we were looking.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
All right, clock back on. This is tough. I think you can go a lot of ways here, but I'm actually gonna go with. Oh shit! There's actually 2. Fuck.
Hey, why you cussing? We're a family-friendly show.
All right.
It ain't no kid-friendly show.
I'm gonna wait till 20 seconds and then I'm gonna decide. Okay.
And
All
you
right,
made fun of
let's
me
do
for
it.
going till the end.
1998 Daytona 500. Now,
Oh, that's a
yes,
good
yes,
one.
I
yes.
hate you. I hate you.
Perhaps the greatest race to end under caution. And I actually think that helps the argument because people in the stands got to soak up the moment in literal slow motion, soak in the moment of their hero, a 7-time champion, winning the Daytona 500, what that meant for the sport. Obviously, they raced back to the line, but again, the race finished under caution. To see if John Elway can win the Super Bowl, Dale Earnhardt could win the Daytona 500. I'm going with the 1998 Daytona 500. Thoughts there? I feel like that, that could have mixed emotions.
It's a round two
I
pick.
I was hoping that would drop to round 3.
Well, I didn't have it on my list. I'm like, not because it wasn't great. I guess I'm looking at it a different way. But
No, I know what you're looking at. I
We
think
talk-
there's different ways
I
to do
did
it.
consider it. But I
Remember
guess
how we
you could say there was no true challenge to the victory. But yes, obviously, that's one of the most important victories in NASCAR history.
talked about it before the air, where the meaning behind the finish. That was the race I was alluding to.
Well, yeah. Also, great. Like again, the greatest finish under caution, right? Like that's probably a fact. So, all right, Armani, you're back on the clock.
All right, so I got a bunch of races here. I feel like I could go a lot of different directions. However, this is the one that stuck out to me the most. We're gonna go back to another just of a banger finish, a finish where you didn't know who was gonna come out on top until the very end. I'm going with 2012 Watkins Glen.
Nice, good
Nicely
pick.
done.
Good pick.
Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Marcos Ambrose, the oil. I can still hear the call from Marcos Ambrose in the top of my head. You didn't know if it was going to be Keselowski getting the win, Marcos Ambrose getting the win, Kyle Busch when they were entering turn 1 could have gotten the win. It is one of the most thrilling finishes in NASCAR history, one of the most thrilling finishes, if not the most thrilling road course finish in history. I'm going with 2012 Watkins Glen.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think you could argue that could be a first-round pick, quite frankly. The greatest finish on a road course of all time.
Yeah.
And the names two rivals that hate each other, and then a road course ringer. So love that. Good pick, Armani. You don't usually make good picks on this show, but we have to.
Hey, I have a win.
A guy like you, we have to credit you when you do something well. So good job.
Yeah, we do.
Will, you're
I'm
up.
not hearing it from Will.
So I had two different races I wanted to pick from, but Armani took one of them. So I'm going to go to this anyways. I'm going to go take a step back in time, sort of like Johnny did. It's a little bit more of a sentimental victory, also the way it happened. I'm going to go Talladega 2000 when Dale Earnhardt Sr. comes from 18th to 1st in 2 laps. Ends up being his final win. Kenny Wallace pushed him across the stripe. So obviously final win for Dale Sr. because of what happened in 2001. But also, I mean, how many times do you hear from 18th to 1st in 2 laps? So that's what I'm going to go for my second round pick.
Good pick. Good pick. We know it well. Again,
Yep.
Was it the closest finish at the line in history? No, but we know what happened to get to that finish. So good pick.
Yes.
Hold on. Tyler, you're up.
Yeah. I was like, does he remember my name?
No,
I'm
I
going to go more the sentimental side as well that Johnny did with the 2001. I thought he was going to say this one from the 2001 season.
That was what I was.
Atlanta. I'm going to go with Dale Jr.'s win at the Pepsi 400. Okay. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a close finish, but my goodness, it was the finish that we all needed as race fans. I mean, there was nobody in the entire country that was going against Dale Jr. We all wanted to see Dale Jr. win that race. And the way he won it was just incredible. It almost reminded you of the 2000 Talladega race for Dale Sr. moving his way up to the front. And it just felt great. The spot in victory lane, like, it was hard just to sit there with a straight face. You had like teary eyes for so many people. What are you going to say, Will?
That finish, even though I wasn't watching yet, we've all seen the replays and went back and watched it. That finish was so good that to this day, you're kind of like, did that really happen?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how good that finish was.
Absolutely.
Will, Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm not pulling a Jimmy Fisher. We're
Oh.
not doing it. We're not
If
doing this.
I'll just say this. Let's say if that race was fixed. I know a lot of people, there's a big conspiracy theory out there. I'm just saying, if they were going to fix any race in the world, that was the one. I still don't think that was the case because DEI was just so dominant in restricted play races.
Right.
I mean, Michael Waltrip run the Daytona 500. You had Michael Waltrip win in 2003, 2002,
default to
2004.
I'll default to this. If NASCAR was in fact rigged, there'd be way more rigging than what we have seen. There's so many things that did not happen that I'm like, all right, it's not. All right.
And then for
Okay.
my third pick, I'm picking another classic from the 90s. This one is a lot of fun because I think this is one of the only times in the Cup Series that we've seen a car this damaged in victory lane. I'm talking about the 1995 Bristol Night Race with Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt Sr. I mean, that race is so iconic. I mean, that picture in victory lane, seeing Terry Labonte's car that beat up and still being able to win the race was super fun. And remember, if people do not remember this, that was a delayed race. So you had to stay up super late for that, and you got a great treat out of it and that incredible finish there near the end.
This mother effer is going to win another dang draft.
Hey, whoa. It's not my fault that I'm this good. You said I was the number one YouTuber, so in this group.
God, this guy just gets lucky. I feel like the picks just fall to him.
You could have picked these ones.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was when I was saying I'm leaning between two. It was between Earnhardt Sr. and Earnhardt Jr. I took Sr. All right, Will, you're up.
See, I feel like I'm pigeonholing myself to a bunch of plate finishes, but I also feel like some of these are too good to not pick. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to go 2007 Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick beats Mark Martin. A heartbreak for Mark Martin. We were all like, finally, the Army car with Mark Martin is going to win this race. And Harvick said, no, I got this, big dog. Of course, Harvick ended up running pretty terrible that year, but huge thing. Kyle Busch and Jamie McMurray and all them are wrecking out the back. Everybody's like, they're going to throw the caution. They let him race. Harvick gets it by inches. And the old man, Martin, never ends up winning the Daytona 500.
Good pick. I mean, I don't know. I also think you could go this draft without picking that, but I think it's fine to pick it. We're getting down there where, some of these finish or I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but good pick. Armani, you're up.
Alrighty. I don't know if I consider this a reach or not, but we're gonna go for it anyway. So I'm gonna go with a finish that broke my heart when I watched it, and I went from breaking my heart to just going, "What did I just watch?" I'm going with the 2018 Charlotte Roval finish between Jimmy Johnson and Mark Truex Jr. And then Ryan Blaney sneaking in to get the win for the inaugural Roval finish, because you got to admit, the Roval has kind of lost its luster, let's be honest, as of late, but everyone always remembers that finish between Jimmy Johnson, Mark Truex Jr., Jimmy trying to get his final win, hops the corner, takes Truex out. Ryan Blaney just sneaks in and says, "I'll take that win. Thank you very much."
You're shaking your head, Will. I actually think that I did not have that on my list.
I'm shaking my head because I told you there was races I forgot. I was at this race and forgot about that finish.
Great finish. Great. I didn't have that on my. That's a good pick, Armani. That's a dark horse. Good pick. I'll give you that.
It hurt my soul.
It's the best moment I've ever seen in person.
That hurt my soul to watch.
Yeah, that was definitely epic. All right, let me put myself back on the clock here. What do we got? What can I choose from?
Damn, Armani is stepping up tonight. It's about time he's contributed here.
Yeah, no kidding.
I go with Daytona 500 here. I go a playoff race at Martinsville. But I think I'm going to go with the greatest family finish in NASCAR. How about Kentucky? How about the Busch brothers? It out.
Crash.
Yes.
You just lost the draft, dog. You just lost the draft.
No. Are we serious?
Yeah.
I believe
the track's not even on the schedule anymore, man.
Yeah, okay.
That's how bad the racing was.
Do you remember that finish?
Barely.
Oh,
It
yeah,
didn't make
sweet.
my
No, I
list.
remember that finish. That was a good finish.
Here,
Great finish. I'm gonna get some.
I
Joe
thought
Gibbs
about putting
fans
it on
here.
my list because, ironically, I really do like that finish. I really do like it, but I just didn't think it was worthy enough to put on the list. I just think there's others that are more memorable, even though I personally love that finish.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
what was the caution for late. Wasn't it like a caution that they could have avoided?
Oh, who cares? Who cares what the caution was for? It's all about finish.
Well, then hell, let's just throw a caution with 5 to go every week.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
back on the clock. Damn, this is crazy. I
This guy right here. This is crazy.
This is unbelievable.
I just don't know what to pick here. Hold on, let me check the clock.
5 or
20
6 different.
Seconds. I think I'm gonna win here.
Okay.
Not after that pick.
He said, I think I'm going here.
All right, all right. My
30
pick is
seconds.
in. My pick is in.
Okay.
Let's do Truex and Hamlin, Daytona 500.
500.
Finish
Okay.
at the line. Harper, what was that? 2018?
2016. I had to look it up.
2016 Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's first ever race he announced for the Cup Series.
That was one of those finishes. I don't even. I guess I was watching it live. I don't know why I wouldn't be. That finish is so. It's like it's not overrated, but it's underrated. That finish is weird. Like
Yeah,
no
I
one
mean,
remembers that finish.
Well, here's the thing. I think this is what killed it just a little bit was that the Toyotas dominated so much. We knew that Toyota was going to win. So it was like going to be one out of 5 drivers who was going to win that race.
Right.
Yes, we didn't know who one of those 5 drivers was, but I think that kills it just a little bit. Yeah, I still think it's a great pick, though. I will give it that.
It made my list.
yeah, I mean, it's also like literally the only time Martin Truex Jr. has ever been close at anything super speedway related.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So-
the closest 500 finish in history. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It is.
So I mean, there's a couple other I have on the list, but I don't think.
Well-
we'll see if you guys pick them, but there it is.
Well-
So that hold on, let me change the names here. Will didn't pick that.
Yeah, Will wants that pick. Will wants that pick bad.
I don't. I don't.
You
got
don't?
picked.
Oh.
All right, Armani, you're on the
picks
clock.
picks.
Well, I was hoping that this race would still be on the board. Thankfully, it is.
We
Johnny,
go.
I'm surprised you didn't pick it. Tyler mentioned a certain race in one of his.
Did Armani just disappear?
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him.
Did
What a
Armani?
horrible time.
Hey, he loses his pick. He's off the clock.
That's
He's just
wild.
frozen.
Look.
Oh, he's
at
back.
this.
He's back. He's back.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
back.
I'm here.
Go, go.
Say it.
Oh, bad Wi-Fi. He's off the clock, dog.
That's legendary. Oh, I mean, according to the rules, I think he has
I
to
think he
lose
said
his
it.
pick.
Hold on. Let's see. Armani, if you can hear us, go to Twitter right now. Give us your pick right now. You have to give it to us.
I think he did have his pick.
Yeah, he did. He did. I'll give him that. Oh,
Oh,
he is
This is
gone.
epic. This is
Wow.
This
Wow.
is such an Armani thing to happen.
Oh my god.
So, do we just want to leave him with the last pick? Move on to Will.
I think we have to. I mean, according to the rules, you get 30 seconds. It's
Yeah.
been like 3 minutes at this point.
We'll give him like another 20 seconds.
Yeah, we'll give him 20 seconds.
More than enough time.
No,
And
ready?
Knowing me and him, I highly doubt we have the
1
same
minute.
pick.
He gets 1 minute. Okay.
I just sent him a message on Twitter. Let's see if he replies back on that. Or excuse me, x.com.
Good. Thank
But
you.
it's still twitter.com though, right?
He get
Yeah.
all
Or
right.
they both pull it up.
Yeah,
Have you ever
because
put
Elon
too
Musk
many-
wasn't committed
have
enough
you
to
ever
go with
put
his
too
own
many-
name.
Have you ever put too many X's by accident before?
Hell no, because I knew what I was going with those multiple X's.
30 seconds
Hey,
in.
think
He's
about
got
it. 2 X's, you're going to get alcohol. 3 X's, you're going to get way more than alcohol.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to show this. I completely forgot while we're waiting for him. So it was great that I got the first pick because I just actually pulled this a little bit ago. It's a signed Ricky Craven card. And I actually got 2 of these. And what's really cool for any of the card collecting fans, the autographs were actually different. So it just lets you know that all these autographs are not all the same. Like they're duplicate. They are all individually signed while we wait.
And there it is.
All right. Will, we know the rules. I mean, you get to pick now.
So this final one, I have it between the same racetrack, but 2 completely different finishes and years. This is very tough. I'm just going to go with it. Armani, you'll get the. Why do you look like you're in like a prison camp overseas?
We're here.
Anyway,
Just say it. Just say your pick. Say your pick.
1999 Bristol Night Race.
Okay.
Okay. Am I still back on me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're up.
All right. I'm going to just throw it out there. Same track, 2 different finishes. I'm going to go Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, Atlanta 2004. Edwards' first ever victory. He dethroned the monster of Jimmy Johnson for a moment. This is ironically before Jimmy Johnson was winning championships. But yes, I'm going Carl Edwards 2004, which probably means I left Tyler with some amazing pick that none of us have picked.
Oh my gosh. You guys are going to feel really upset about this. I think especially Armani the most because he said 2018 and I was like, oh, he picked it. And he said the inaugural Roval, which is a great pick. But guys, remember slide job.
I had that on
yeah,
my
I know.
list.
I had that. I had that. I did.
Oh,
I had that.
man,
That
that's
was one of
such
my.
a good finish.
I know. I know.
Slide job.
The 2018 Chicagoland race between Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch.
I have. I mean, look, I have it. I just. I didn't.
I had it. I just thought I thought the Roval had a little more at stake. Playoff race, Jimmy going for potentially his final win, Blaney sneaking through at the last second.
But let's be honest. True. Very true. That is what made Chicagoland such a loved track. In my personal opinion, yeah, it's kind of a unique 1.5 miles. There's a little bit of a difference. I wouldn't say too much, but that race was so exciting. It made Dale Earnhardt Jr. immediately a #1 loved announcer. I mean, I'll be honest with you. At that point, I was just like, man, it's just like almost having a fan up there announcing. This is great. And he also has inside knowledge. And then that finish, it almost reminds you a little bit of Watkins Glen finish, not to the same extent. I still believe Watkins Glen finish is way more exciting. But the bumping and banging between those two, it was just incredibly entertaining. And I could not leave that off the list. I'm really happy that you guys left me with that. And I'm glad at least it showed up on this list because it definitely needs to be in the top 20 greatest finishes of all time. And we only have 16 picks.
Yeah, no, it's a great pick. Like I said, I was kind of weighing my options, so I went with the 500 with Hamlin and Truex. But that has to be on this list. So, all right, there it is, guys. So we've got Tyler's team. He's got Ricky Craven versus Kurt Busch at Darlington. He's got the Pepsi 400 2001. He's got the 1995 Bristol Night Race, and then 2008 Chicagoland. And then we've got Will. He's got the infamous fight in the infield Daytona 500 1979. He's got Dale Sr.'s last win at all, but I was going to say at Dega, but just his last win in NASCAR. We've got the 2007 Daytona 500. He's got Carl Edwards Atlanta win. And then we go to Armani. He's got 2011 Dega Spring. He's got the Marcus Ambrose race at Watkins Glen. He's got the Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Blaney, that was Truex, right? Was the third driver in that?
Truex and Jimmy Johnson made contact.
Inaugural Roval. We've got, and then he's got the 1999 Bristol Night Race, great race as well. And then I've got Harvick's first career win, the 98 Daytona 500, the Busch brothers battling out in Kentucky, and then Hamlin and Truex in the 2016 Daytona 500. Early looks, I think Tyler's probably the favorite.
Probably.
I think so. I think Tyler's got the most stacked team. And then
I know I'm not winning. So.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the only guy that could make it close.
I think give him a run for his money.
I think Armani could give it a run for its money. But
we're almost duplicates in a way.
Hey. So we got
it'll be interesting on Tyler when you put this on your poll thing, how you title each race, because I think that will be important. You know,
I
what
only
mean?
have here's the problem. You only get 65 characters for each line, so I got to figure this one out.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I got to figure out the best way to do it too, on the graphic. But all right, so those are the teams. What else was I was gonna?
Well, I was gonna say because I've got 4 of them. Any
Oh
honorable
yeah,
mentions?
honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Will, I'll let you go first because you're top of the screen.
So we got to go 1 or 2 because I've got 4.
Go with
Do
4.
no,
All
no,
right,
one
so
each, one each.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna
Oh,
do
one
one.
each, one each.
all
Okay.
right. So honorable mention then, if we'll go shocking, I'll go 2011 Daytona 500 with Trevor Bayne.
Yep.
All of us remember that finish.
Yep.
An alum on the show, Trevor Baines, Daytona 500. If you've watched the, I believe the last episode we did, one-time winners, greatest
One-time
one-time
winners.
winners,
Yeah.
Trevor
Yeah.
Baines. He's on my team. Shout out TB. All right, I'm next on my screen, so I'm gonna do one that is in my neck of the woods. How about New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Hamlin and Harvick battling out at New Hampshire, the greatest finish in New Hampshire history.
When are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Hamlin, Harvick, New Hampshire.
When
No?
are we
I
even
know what
talking about?
I know what
2019,
race he's talking about.
2019.
Okay.
No?
Deep it's
Oh.
track.
All right,
All
fair
right.
enough. I'm sure the fans will know. Tyler, what do you got for us?
I would say I'm gonna go with an old one. I wouldn't have picked this one because I don't think it would have really grabbed many people's attention. But I like the 1976 Daytona 500 between David Pearson and Richard Petty, where they wreck exiting out of turn 4, and
That is a good
whichever
one.
driver was able to get their car going was going to be the one to win the race.
Yep.
It's a really old race, and I don't think many people remember that one on their list, but that's still an amazing finish. I don't care what anyone says. I think it deserves a spot. At the very least, honorable
Literally
mention.
had Cruz trying to push the car in the ground. Who ended up winning that one?
David Pearson, that's his only Daytona 500 victory. What a way for him to win. And I said there's never been a car that damaged like the Terry Labonte's 1995. I just corrected myself because David Pearson's car was pretty destroyed too.
Oh, you know what? So we have to DQ his list. He's DQ'd.
Wow.
All of his votes will count towards me.
Armani,
Dang.
what's your honorable mention?
Yeah, Armani, what do you got?
I'll say in 2018, I'll go with the 2018 Fall Martinsville race.
Yeah.
Truex working lap after lap to try to get by Logano clean.
I was at
Finally
that
gets
race.
by him. Then Joey, and just the last lap says, "Nah, dog, get out of my way." And then, of course, there's the famous line: "He didn't win the battle, but he won the battle. But he didn't win the damn war."
And then he won
He's
the
the
war.
Willer, he won the war.
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
just to
eventually
cap
won
it
the-
off, because these got to
Yeah.
be mentioned. All right, we're missing 2007 Martinsville, Gordon versus Johnson.
Mhm,
2011 Atlanta, Gordon versus Johnson.
mhm.
And then I threw this because I'll always remember because of the crash, but Keselowski, Carl Edwards at Talladega in 2009.
That's
Yeah.
an incredibly good finish.
Yeah. Well, I was also gonna thinking about the Austin Dillon crash at Daytona, just because that was like just what like that crash was insane.
That's true.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't want
Nothing from 1992, like the Winston 1992 or the Atlanta 500.
Or the
I remember the
All-
Atlanta 500, but the All-Star finish did cross my mind.
Yes.
Here's an underrated, forgettable finish. Here's an underrated finish.
An
The
underrated,
2016
forgettable finish.
The 2016 All-Star Open with Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott.
Very good battle.
No, that was good. The other one I was thinking with Larson was 2 years ago now, 2021 at Pocono, when he was going for the streak for the most consecutive wins, I think, in a row. And he blew a tire in the final turn, and Bowman's, of course, a classic Bowman sweeping in and winning. I remember exactly where I was watching that race. I was at Greg's Restaurant. Shout out Greg's Restaurant. And I literally I had some headphones in watching the end of the race, and I just remember I'm like scream. I'm like, holy shit. And like literally
I wasn't watching that race. I think I was at a racetrack or something somewhere, but I wasn't watching it.
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
don't
I screamed, and then I saw Alex Bowman coming through. I was like, oh, all right, well, never mind then.
Boo.
Uh,
All right, so there we go. Let's do a standings check real quick before we log off here. So Johnny on the track there. I've got 1 win. Will is still winless. And I hate to break it to him, but he still will be winless by Sunday.
I like to
Sunday
read my
afternoon.
Panthers in real life.
Yeah, there you go.
the Panthers got more wins than you.
Yeah, yeah, that's hard to do. Tyler has 2 wins. He might be itching towards a 3 here. And Armani's got 1 win. So those are the standings so far. Appreciate you guys watching. We should have another one up next week. The 4 of us are going to have to put our heads together and figure out what that might be. But that is exciting, and maybe some exciting news in the horizon of perhaps where the 4 of us might be heading. Tyler may have spoiled it, but that could come soon. You might see a live draft being drafted from said place. But more to come on that. Like I said, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like this video. It goes a long way for the channel. Make sure you check out these guys as well. You guys want to do plugs real quick? Will, what's your what do you got for the fans here?
I mean, my Twitter that I'm barely on right now is at NASCAR_opinion. But anything Cherokee Speedway, Livonia Speedway, the Carolina Sprint Tour, that helps me out. You can look them up. Hopefully, you'll follow us and have fun with it. It's the off season, though, so it's kind of boring.
Thanks,
You
Will.
can follow me at just look up Vanilla Wafers. I will pop up right after the cookie channels. Next video I'm going to be posting here will be actually a disturbing end for a particular NASCAR driver. Some of you guys are familiar with him. I don't think I'm going to spoil. I will give you guys a hint. JWT, that's all I'll say.
Oh, God.
I know who you're talking about.
John Wesley Townsend.
John Wesley
Oh,
Townsend.
Wesley
Yeah, there you go.
John Wesley Townsend?
John Wesley Townsend. Who that?
Armani, what about you? Please don't plug some random high school basketball.
Please.
You can follow me at Motor Minister. Any support of FMU athletics, you're supporting me.
There it is.
Oh,
I hate to break it to you. We're rooting for you, man, but we don't need that.
So Will's allowed to plug in his Cherokee, his Carolina Sprint Tour, but I can't plug in my athletics.
Tracy, no one cares about the third string women's lacrosse team.
Okay, all right.
Oh man, all right, good stuff. All right, so I told you to like this video, subscribe if you're a first-time watcher or listener for more NASCAR and motorsports content, and I want to know what you guys think. Put in the comments below who you think won this draft, and oh my gosh, most important, there's a few ways to vote. You can go to my Twitter at JOTT_podcast. You can go to my Twitter and vote on the live poll that we do. You can also just go on my channel on YouTube, Johnny on the Track. How you're watching this, you'll see in the community section, there's a place to vote. And then you can, I don't know why you would if you're watching this video, because it might just be easier to vote on my channel. But if you hate me and you like Tyler, you can go to the Wafers channel and he puts the poll up as well. So there's a bunch of ways to vote. If you are like, man, I am so in on Armani's team, you could vote in 3 different places, give him more votes. So I mean, there's plenty to do this.
I'm just saying this. Thank you so much, fans, for actually voting on those, because some of them just see it and vote for that. I do appreciate your guys' opinions. If you guys watch both Johnny on the Track and my channel, you're really a big supporter for all of us here. I appreciate that. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone who votes on that. But you got to give Johnny's channel, you got to watch these episodes, because there's a lot of shenanigans that happens here. You know, like Armani cutting off midway through the episode.
That's true. That's true. All right, so there it is. Thanks, guys, for watching, and make sure you check out FMU Athletics.
Thank you.